All right, so we're getting ready to perform a cylinder leakage test on this vehicle. It passed the compression test, but we're just doing this as a demonstration. But you would move on to a cylinder leakage test if there was a failed compression test, so that you can find out where your leak is. So we're still going to use the same hose that we used in our compression test. The only difference is we've removed the Schrader valve out of the end of the hose so that when we use our tool, we can put shop air into the cylinder. So we'll go ahead and thread this back in. Now, in order to do this, we have to be at top dead center on the compression stroke. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. Some people have a whistle attached to the end of this hose so that when we tap the starter, when we get to compression stroke, it'll whistle really loud. Or we can do it with our thumb over the top and have a partner tap the starter for us, and we can feel for that pressure. That's what we're gonna try first. If it doesn't work, we might have to do this manually. So we've got the ignition system disabled here, and I'm just gonna have him tap the starter as lightly as possible, and we'll feel for pressure. Go ahead. Okay, that was actually really good. So first puff, so I think we might be on compression stroke right there, so we'll stop. Now the problem with this test is, or doing it this way is, you could have gone to compression stroke but then rotated past, so it's not super accurate, so it's kind of hit and miss. So if it doesn't work, like I said, just move on and get it done manually. So we're gonna go ahead and put our compression, or our cylinder leakage gauge on here. Go ahead and hook that up, please. And if it's not at top dead center compression, we'll know pretty quick. We're gonna start pumping in our air, watch our gauges. This side is how much air we're putting in, this is how much is staying in. Oh, and something happened, and I saw the pulley down here move, so it must have pushed the piston down the cylinder, and so we were not at top dead center compression. So instead of using that method, we're gonna drop a screwdriver in the top of this cylinder, and we'll manually turn the cylinder over and watch ourselves get to top dead center. All right, so we removed the tire and pulled down the plastic in here so we could access the crank pulley, and we've got our socket on there. So we're gonna turn this over manually. We've got a screwdriver down in the socket hole, and we're just gonna watch that piston come to top dead center. Go ahead. Okay, go slow. Oh, we passed it. Try to go back, just right there, perfect. Okay, so now let's try introducing air one more time. All right, so that method worked. As you can see, we're putting in 100 PSI and 92 PSI is staying in the cylinder, so we only have an 8% leakage here. And that's how you perform this test. Now, if you did have more than 20% leakage, you need to find where that air is going. So go ahead and check your exhaust, your intake, maybe pull the dipstick tube, see if it's leaking past your rings, pull your radiator cap, see if it's a head gasket. But that is how you perform that test.